Welcome to another SDM Foundation video, and today we're going to be talking about Google Suite. We're mainly going to be talking about Google Drive, Google Docs, and Google Slides. So in order to access it, you have to have made an email, and once you've done that, you want to click on this little waffle right here, and it's going to give you like this little menu. We're going to talk about Google Drive first. You're going to go to Google Drive. So basically what Google Drive is, it's like a little hub, I guess, where all of your Google materials are stored, like Google slideshows, docs. You can even upload images to it, videos, just everything. It's like a online flash drive basically. So in Google Drive, you'll have this little menu right here. In My Drive, it gives you all of your, docs, videos, pictures, sheets, whatever you have in your Google Drive is here. Shared drives, this is, what you're sharing with other people, like other accounts, I guess. Your Shared With Me tab, this is what other people have shared with you. Yeah, this is where it's stored. Recent, this is pretty self-explanatory. It's just what you've accessed recently. Kind of going by like day, week, just age of when the last time you clicked on it was. Starred, this is if you starred anything important. You can, if you have an important file or folder or picture or something, I don't know. You can star it and it'll go here. Trash is obviously anything you've deleted, and then storage, this shows you everything that's using storage in the Google Drive. Alright, so now we're going to talk about folders, and what a folder is it's basically just a folder, basically in real life you'll have a folder, you can put whatever you want in it. That's basically what this is, except online, obviously. And it's good for organizing your Google Drive. So to make one, you're going to want to click up here and new folder, and then it's going to ask you to name it. I'm just going to leave it as this. You can name whatever you want. I'm going to click create, and it should pop up right here. And if you want to make a new doc in this folder, you're going to open up the folder, click new, go to Google Docs or whatever you want to make. It's going to say create and shared folder. You're going to click create and share. It'll bring you to your doc or slide or whatever, and you're going to want to go up here and click share. It's going to ask you to name it. You can name whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it as untitled. Click save and then done, and it should pop up in your folder right here. Now, if you want to move something to your folder, you're just going to want to go to your Google Drive and find it. For example, this presentation right here, it's not in the folder, see, it's just in the drive. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open it. Then you're going to look up here. There's going to be this move button right here near the title of your presentation. You're going to click that. You're going to click the folder you want. Click move here, move, and it's done. Now you want to check, go to My Drive, titled folder, and you can see that both of them are in here. Alright, so next we're going to take a look at Google Docs, and in order to access Google Docs, you want to go to the waffle up here, click on it, and then find Google Docs in this little menu. It's going to bring you here. And basically what Google Docs is, it's like an electronic piece of paper. You can pretty much use it for anything. It can be for preparing letters, essays, writing books, stories, literally anything. When you go to make a doc, you'll have a bunch of different options. As you can see at the top, you can either make a blank one, resume, report, essay. There's a ton of different templates. And there's a drop down menu. You can see even more. Really, you can use them how you like. I usually just use the blank one, but if you're doing something specific like writing a book report or an essay, you can pick a template and it'll look nicer. But we're going to start off with a regular doc, and at the top you can see that there's a bunch of these tabs. I'm going to explain what all of them do. So when you click on File, it gives you the option to make a copy, which is important because sometimes you might need to make a copy of the same document, and it won't save any of the edits that you make on the copy. Like, it'll literally just copy the doc and put it on a new one. You can share with people, send it in an email, download it to your computer or whatever. You can rename it, move it to a folder, which I showed you earlier. You can add a shortcut to your drive so you can access it easier from the main menu in your drive. There's version history. You can make it available offline, which basically when you're not connected to Wi-Fi, you'll still be able to edit the document. You can change the language of it, the way the page is set up. So you can make it portrait, landscape. You can just configure it to however you'd like. And then obviously you can print it. With edit, you can undo an edit, redo an edit, and obviously there's these shortcuts right here if you want to memorize these. Cut, copy, paste. So if you want to just paste something down without having to rewrite it all, you can copy it and paste it. Yep. With the view mode, you can change whether you're in editing mode, suggesting mode, or viewing mode. The difference between these is with editing mode is you can just edit the document normally. When you usually load up a document, you'll be in editing mode so that you can write and stuff. Suggesting, I'll show you that really quickly, but basically you'll just, instead of actually editing the document, it'll just end up as like a suggestion. Here, let me show you. So if I type a bunch of random letters, click on view, mode, suggesting. If I want to delete this, but I don't want it to actually delete, it'll come as a suggestion. You can see this is good if you're editing someone else's work, offering suggestions, things like that. Show print layout. It's just like this little thing on the side right here. Ruler. This is the ruler at the top that shows you the width of the page, and you can edit the margins and stuff. I'll explain that in a second. Let me put it back into editing mode. The outline, it's this. It's like a little kind of header at the side. It'll just show you all the headings you add to the document, and it's like an outline. It's almost like a table of contents, and you can pick where you want to go in the document. If it's really long, this is very useful. Yeah, it's really all it's important. Alright, I'll just delete all this. Now we're going to go to insert. Here you can insert images from your computer. You can search them on the internet, your drive, photos, whatever. You just click on that and it'll bring you to a place where you can insert. For example, if I wanted to insert one from the web, I could search the picture of a dog, I don't know, and then just click on it, go down to insert, that puts the picture in for you. Table, here you can put in a table for whatever you need. This is pretty helpful for me with my schoolwork, but you can use however you want. A drawing, you can insert a Google drawing from your drive. It's another part of Google Suite. Basically, it's just it's literally just like an online drawing. You can draw whatever you want on it. It's kind of like a Google Doc, but a little more freedom with it. A chart, you can insert a bar graph, column, line, pie chart, whatever. Horizontal lines, you can use these to separate things. I use them a lot. You can insert emojis. equations, special characters that you don't normally have on a keyboard. It's pretty useful. Headers and footers. You can insert a header here, if you need this for whatever you're writing. Or page numbers can be useful if you're writing a book. You can also insert links, but I like to remember this Command K shortcut. If you hold down Command K on whatever you're linking, for example, I don't know, just type this in, say that's a link, you highlight it, Command K, and then you put the link in here, and it'll make this a link to wherever you need it to go to. Now we're going to move on to format. Here you can make all of your text bold, italic, underline, whatever you need. There's an easy way to do it than going into this menu, but just the way you can do it. Paragraph styles, you can add headings for your writing, title. Depends on what you're doing, but yeah, you can add that. You can indent your writing, I guess, here if you highlight it. If you don't want it to be on the left, you can move it to the center. There's also an easier way to do this. If you click here, it's a shortcut. Spacing. I use this a lot for essays and stuff. If a teacher asks me to use single or double space, but you can use it however you want. You can make your work single space, 1.5, 1.15, double space. It'll show you everything here if you need it. Columns. If you're writing like a journal or an article, yeah, you can split it up into 2 columns or 3. You can make lists with like a numbered list, a bulleted list, checklist, whatever you need. You can insert headers and footers to the top and bottom. You can add page number. You can add page numbers. This is helpful if you're, writing a book. Like I said before. Tools. You can check your work for spelling and grammar. You just highlight it all, and it'll show you all your mistakes, and it'll give you suggestions on how to fix it. You can check your word count. You can review suggested edits, which is stuff that you made in suggestion mode. Suggest mode. You can compare 2 documents together. You can add citations if you're quoting something. Yeah, you got all these things. You can look at it. Some of them I rarely use, but they're there. Now we're going to go over what sharing is in Google Docs, Google Drive, whatever. So sharing, basically what it is you can share your work with other people or other accounts so that you can work on it together, or if you want to show them it. And basically what you want to do is go up to this share button right here, click on it, and then you can title your thing whatever you want. I'll just name it trial. And what you want to do is, in this box right here, you want to type in the person's email. So for example, like abcd@gmail.com. You're gonna click on that, not this, but whoever you're sending this to. You click on it, it'll pop up like this, and then you just want to click send. I don't know what this is, so I'm not going to do it, but the other things you can do in the share window, you can just copy the link of your work, and you can send it to someone that way, but they will need permission from you to edit it or suggest. And in order to give them permission, right here is you just click on this right here, this little drop down menu from the person you added. So for example, if I go back to I click on this right here, and I can make them a viewer, commenter, or editor. And you can even add an expiration, and basically what that is it gives them a window of time where they can make changes to the document. So after that window runs out, they don't have access anymore. And then you just want to click send, and that's about it. Alright, so next we're going to be going over Google Slides, and this is a slideshow program that's used for making presentations, but it can also be used to like customize a single piece of paper online, however you like. And to access it, go to Google Drive, and you can click New and Google Slides, and that'll create a new slide for you. Or if you want to access the actual like Google Slides program, you click the waffle and then just click on Slides here, and it'll bring you right to Slides. There's a bunch of different templates that you can use depending on like what you're trying to make with the slideshow. If it's like a book report or a photo album, or like a slideshow for a project, you can do that as well. I usually just do the blank one, but it doesn't really matter. You can use it however you like. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the slideshow, and the first thing you'll see here is the file section: file, edit, view, insert, format, slide, all this stuff up here. It's pretty similar to how it was on Google Docs. Under file, you'll see that you can import slides, which if you made another slideshow, you can basically just import the slides from that slideshow onto this one. Under edit, it's basically the same as on Google Docs. View is pretty similar, except there's a few things that are different, such as slideshow. You can basically put your presentation in full screen mode. Just makes it nicer when you're presenting it to people. You can change like the way the slides appear on the screen. So when you go from one slide to another, you can make it do like a fade in, and it'll like fade onto your screen. As you can see here, kind of like appears differently. You can make themes. So if you don't like the plain slides, or you don't like the way they're formatted and you wanted to make your own kind of format, I guess, you could do that. For insert, it's pretty much the exact same as Google Docs. You can insert videos or images or charts, tables, whatever. Format is also pretty much the same. Here under slide, you can create new slides, duplicate ones that you already have, delete slides, or skip them, which is when you're in present, you just like doesn't see it, you don't see it. You can change the background of your slides. So if you want to have an entire image in the back of your slide, you can. It'll fit to the size of the slide like that. It'll just be the entire slide. Or you could just change the color to whatever you want. Transitions is pretty much the exact same thing as the motion under view. Here, as you can see, you can change the way it transitions to the slide with fades and dissolving, or you can have it appear from the right, left, just whatever you want really. Yeah, the rest is pretty much the same as Google Docs. As you can see here, in this section, in this section right here, you can undo actions, redo actions, print your slides, zoom in or out, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can create new text boxes. So if you select this, you can make another text box where you can type if you want to format the slide differently. You can insert images, shapes, if you want to include like a square for whatever reason. If you're, it's just like how you want the slide to look. Lines, if you're like connecting topics You can have a line connecting them, if you know what I mean, just how you want the slide to look. So that's when you click outside of the actual slide itself, you'll see that you get all these different options that we just went over. Background, we talked about this, you can just change the color. The layout of the slide, here you get to pick which slide you want. So if you want a title slide, a content slide, you can select one of these however you want it to look. A blank slide, it doesn't really matter. Theme, here you can pick the theme of your slide, which is again just a visual thing. It's all up to you, whatever you want it to look like, but there's a bunch of different themes with different fonts and like slide styles, I guess. You can pick whichever one you like. And then transition, again, same thing that motion was, you just change how the slide appears on your screen in present mode. But then when you click on the slide here, you'll see that you get a bunch of these options. These are also on, a lot of these are on Google Docs as well, but you know, the border width of the text box, you know, you can have a outline, or you can change the color of it as well. Here, we can go from black to green. You can change the font of your letters, change the size of your letters and words with this button right here. You just have to highlight it. Remember to do that. So I'm gonna highlight it, and then you can change the font or the size. You can do bold, italics, underline, same thing as in Google Docs, all of this. And you can also animate your words the same way you can animate your slides. So you can have them appear like different ways, like flying in from the bottom, right, fading in, however you want it to look. Next, we're going to talk about Google Sheets, and what you want to do is go up to the waffle, just click on Sheets. It's going to take you to Google Sheets, and basically what Google Sheets is, it's literally just an online spreadsheet with many different functions. You can make different types, as you can see up here. There's a bunch of different templates depending on, you know, what you're using it for. But we're just going to go ahead and make a regular spreadsheet, and it's going to show up like this. As you can see, it's a bunch of little boxes. The letters tab up here, and the numbers. It's literally just a regular spreadsheet but online. Under File, you know, it's again pretty similar to Google Docs and Slides. You can make a new one from here, open, import, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory. Edit, same thing. Under Insert, you can insert different cells, rows, columns, pretty similar to Google Docs and Sheets. You can add a whole other sheet. So as you can see, when you click on that, you just have all these tabs down here with different sheets under this one spreadsheet, kind of like a little folder. You can add charts, tables, images, drawings, functions. You can kind of make the spreadsheet into like a calculator. I'm not too sure how that works, so I can't really explain it, but you can add in links, all this other stuff down here. Under Format, you can, you know, change the theme of it to, you know, whatever you're doing, you can make it, you can match the theme to the spreadsheet, I guess. It's up to you, that's personal preference. You know, there's all this other stuff like numbers, fonts, rotations, alignments, pretty similar to Slides and Docs. Under Data, this is again more of that like function stuff. I don't really know how to do that. That could be a whole nother video in itself. But yeah, you can basically make a spreadsheet into like your own calculator for certain, you know, functions. Tools, you can add in forms, check spelling, you know, just regular stuff. Alright, so we can go over some simple functions like adding or subtracting, and what you're going to want to do is like select two boxes. We'll use A1 and B1 for now, but you want to highlight them like this, go over here to the functions tab, and then select what you want. You can do sum, average, count, max, whatever. We'll do sum, so it's just going to add the two boxes up. If you want to use this as like a calculator or like a spreadsheet for a business, if you know you're plugging in numbers and you want to do like a function for you. So we'll do sum, and you'll see this will pop up right here in the box next to it. It'll just say sum of A1 and B1. You can throw in two numbers. We'll do like 1 and 2, and you'll see that it's like a calculator. It'll show up right there. We'll try another one. You could do like, I guess, average. So you want to highlight the two, select, do average, and notice average them out. So say 10 and 20. It'll just take the average. You can do it with multiple as well, so a lot more than two. So let's select like these ones, go to average, and just start like putting in numbers. And let's give you the average. Pretty simple. And you can do with a bunch of different functions, like let's look, a bunch of different math ones, but there's more than that. As you can see, there's a bunch of these that I don't really know what they do, but yeah.